Picture a freezing cold morning in December 2010. A Suffolk County police officer named John Malia is out on Ocean Parkway, Long Island, doing a routine training exercise with his German Shepherd cadaver dog, Blue. They're walking along the side of the road, thick brown grass on both sides, the Atlantic Ocean just out of sight behind the dunes. Blue suddenly freezes, sits down, and stares into the brush. Malia pushes through the brambles and sees something that will haunt him for the rest of his life. A human skull staring back at him, wrapped inside a soaked piece of burlap. Within hours, the area is swarming with detectives. By the end of that week, they find 3 more sets of remains in the exact same stretch, all within a quarter of a mile. By April 2011, the total reaches 10. Then 11. Some bodies are skeletons. Some are torsos with the head, hands, and feet removed. One is a toddler barely 18 months old. One is an Asian male in his 20s wearing women's clothing. Almost all of the women had worked as escorts and advertised on Craigslist. The media instantly coins the name that will stick forever: the Long Island serial killer LISK. For 13 long years, he remained a phantom, a voice on the phone, a shadow in a dark SUV, a monster who could kill, dismember, wrap bodies in burlap like Christmas presents from hell, and then go home to barbecue with the neighbors. Until one summer afternoon in 2023, when that phantom finally got a face, a name, and an address just 10 miles away. Rex Andrew Heuermann, 6'6", 240 pounds, married, father of 2, respected Manhattan architect, and, according to prosecutors, one of the most prolific serial killers in modern American history. Let's go back to the very beginning, because this story didn't start in 2010. It started decades earlier. The earliest victim now linked to Rex Heuermann is Sandra Costilla, 28 years old, murdered on November 20, 1993. Sandra was last seen leaving a bar in North Sea, Long Island. Her body was found the next day in a wooded area, partially clothed, hands bound behind her back, signs of sexual assault and strangulation. For 31 years, her case sat unsolved. Then, in December 2024, while Rex was already in jail facing 6 other murder charges, investigators ran the old evidence through new technology. A single hair on Sandra's body came back as a perfect match to Rex Heuermann. That means this man may have been hunting and killing since George Bush Sr. was in the White House, since most of us weren't even on the internet yet. Fast forward to the summer of 2007. Maureen Brainerd Barnes is 25 years old, 4'11", maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. She's a single mom of 2 little kids in Norwich, Connecticut, struggling to pay rent. On July 9th, she tells her best friend, "I've got an out-call date in New York City. I'll be back tomorrow." She posts an ad on Craigslist under the name Carolina, packs a tiny overnight bag, kisses her babies goodbye, and takes the train into Manhattan. Her last phone ping is from the Penn Station area late that night. After that, silence. Her cell phone is never used again. 2 years later, July 2009. Melissa Barthelemy, 24, tiny blonde firecracker from Buffalo, living in the Bronx. Melissa is the one holding her whole family together. Her mom is sick. Her little sister Amanda is only 15. Melissa disappears after meeting a client who paid her $1,000 for a few hours. Starting just 3 days later, Amanda starts getting phone calls from Melissa's own phone. The caller ID says Melissa. Amanda picks up and hears a man's voice. Calm, deep, almost amused. "Do you know where your sister is? Do you think you'll ever see her again?" One night he tells her, "Your sister is dead. She's rotting right now and animals are eating her." Another night, "I killed her. I watched her die." The calls always last under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, short enough that police can't trace them in real time. All 7 calls are placed from crowded Manhattan locations: Penn Station, Times Square, Madison Square Garden. Places where someone can vanish into a sea of people in seconds. Places Rex Heuermann visited literally every single workday. June 6, 2010. Megan Waterman, 22, from Portland, Maine. Sweet, soft-spoken, mother of a 4-year-old daughter. She's staying at the Holiday Inn Express in Hauppauge, Long Island, with her boyfriend Pimp. Surveillance cameras catch her at 1:28 a.m. walking out the lobby door smiling, wearing a black hoodie and white hoodie, heading toward the parking lot after receiving a text. She tells her boyfriend, "It's just a quick date. I'll be back in an hour." That's the last time anyone sees Megan alive. September 2nd, 2010. Amber Lynn Costello, 27, living in a rundown house in West Babylon with her roommate Dave Schulman. Amber is trying to kick heroin. She's tiny, tough, covered in tattoos. A client calls and offers $1,500 cash for a couple of hours, an amount almost too good to refuse when you're broke and sick. Amber puts on a black tank top, tells Dave, "Lock the door behind me. I'll be back before you wake up." Neighbors later remember seeing a giant man, over 6'4", sitting in a dark green first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche outside the house for hours that night. Amber walks out, gets in the passenger seat, and disappears. These four women, Maureen, Melissa, Megan, and Amber, would become forever known as the Gilgo Four. Their skeletal remains were the first four discovered in December 2010, all within 500 feet of one another, all wrapped in the same camouflage burlap sacks, all strangled with something thick, possibly a belt or rope. But remember how I said 11 bodies? Let's meet the others. While searching for a completely different missing woman named Shannon Gilbert in December 2010, police stumbled upon the Gilgo Four. Over the next 4 months, they kept finding more. Jessica Taylor, 20 years old, last seen in Midtown Manhattan in July 2003. Her torso was found in the woods in Manorville, 45 miles east of Gilgo Beach. 8 years later, her skull, hands, and forearm, with a distinctive tattoo surgically removed, were found right next to the Gilgo Four. Valerie Mack, last seen in Philadelphia in 2000, also dismembered. Her torso in Manorville in 2000, her skull at Gilgo in 2011. Then there were the outliers that still don't fully fit. An unidentified Asian male, 5'6", dressed in women's clothing, dead 5 to 10 years. A toddler girl, 16 to 24 months old, wrapped in a blanket, later proven to be the daughter of another unidentified Jane Doe found nearby. 2 more Jane Does whose DNA has never hit any database. And then there's Shannon Gilbert herself, the 23-year-old whose frantic 911 call accidentally uncovered everything. On May 1st, 2010, Shannon is at a client's house in the gated Oak Beach community. At 4:51 a.m., she suddenly bursts out the front door screaming, "They're trying to kill me!" She runs barefoot through the neighborhood banging on doors. One resident, Gus Coletti, opens his door and Shannon falls inside yelling, "Help me! Help me!" Then she bolts again into the marshes. Her 23-minute 911 call is pure terror. Screaming, crying, saying someone is after her. Police don't find her body until December 2011. Over a mile away in a thick swamp. Official cause of death: accidental drowning while high on drugs. Her family has never accepted that. For 12 years, the case sat frozen. Tips poured in. Suspects came and went. Former Suffolk County Police Chief James Burke was accused of protecting the killer because he allegedly had sex parties with escorts and drug dealers. Reddit and web sleuths exploded with theories. Multiple killers, a cult, corrupt cops, even a doctor who lived in Oak Beach. Documentaries dropped. Families held candlelight vigils every year on that cursed stretch of beach. Then, in March 2022, everything changed. A brand new multi-agency task force was formed. They decided to treat the case like it happened yesterday. They pulled every single burner phone record again. One specific burner used to contact Megan, Amber, and Melissa kept pinging the exact same cell towers as Rex Heuermann's personal T-Mobile phone and his wife's phone. Hundreds of overlaps in Massapequa Park, Manhattan, and even rural areas in South Carolina where the Heuermanns vacationed. They put undercover teams on Rex 24/7. They watched him throw away a pizza crust in Manhattan in January 2023. Plainclothes cops literally dove into the trash, bagged the crust, swabbed it. DNA match. They matched it to a male hair stuck to the duct tape on Megan Waterman's body. Probability of random match: 1 in 2.4 trillion. They raided his house in Massapequa Park while the family was in Iceland. What they found was a horror movie come to life. A walk-in vault in the basement with soundproof foam on every wall. A huge gun safe stuffed with bondage gear, handcuffs, gags. Over 300 electronic devices. A hard drive with 10,000 plus saved images of violent pornography. Many showing women bound exactly like the victims. And the smoking gun. A Microsoft Word document titled HK 2002-04 Hunt/Kill 2002 to 2004, with sections like Problems, Too Much Blood Last Time, DS, Disposal Sites, Consider Beach in Winter, Body Prep, Remove Tattoos, Fingerprints, Teeth if possible. Next time, younger targets easier to control. Supplies, heavier rope, burlap from Home Depot. July 13, 2023, 6:14 p.m. Rex walks out of his Fifth Avenue office. Within seconds, a dozen cops tackle him to the sidewalk. He reportedly looked surprised and said, "Is this about the Gilgo Beach girls?" He has since been charged with 7 murders. The Gilgo Four, Jessica Taylor, Valerie Mack, and Sandra Costilla. Prosecutors say more charges are coming in 2026. His wife Asa Ellerup filed for divorce the same week. Her hair, shed naturally, was found on 3 victims because Rex used the same burlap and tape at home. But here's what still keeps investigators up at night in 2025. 4 sets of remains on Gilgo Beach have no DNA link to Rex. The toddler and her mother. The Asian male. 2 Jane Does. And many experts believe Shannan Gilbert was murdered too. So I leave you with this question that has haunted me since I first read about this case. How many monsters wear a suit and tie every day, kiss their kids goodnight, and then drive out to the beach with a body in the trunk? These women had names. They had favorite songs. They had mothers who still set a place at the table for them every Christmas. They were human beings who deserved to grow old. Say their names with me out loud right now wherever you are. Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, Jessica Taylor, Valerie Mack, Sandra Costilla, Shannan Gilbert, and the 4 we still can't name. As long as we keep saying their names, the darkness didn't win. Thank you for staying with me through this entire story. If it hit you hard, do 3 things. Hit like so this reaches more people, comment the name of the victim whose story hurt you the most, and subscribe because I'm not done with Gilgo Beach yet. There are still bodies out there, still secrets in that sand, and I'll be here until every single one of them comes home. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.